What's cooking, folks? Vermillion Phoenix here, and today we're playing some more Orcs Must Die Unchained. This time we're heading into the Midnight Market with Cygnus. Now, this map has whooshing enemies, and that means that any elemental damage, of which Cygnus' lightning is one, it's basically going to deal reduced damage. It means that you're going to want to make sure that your traps really are not having that issue. So, essentially I only use physical traps here. We grab Overachiever, switch Bear Hugs for, that is not it, Feeling Fierce. And we're going to move this to a BGH Ballista, so I can figure out where that is. There we go. And we're going to drop the Floor Spikes and use a, where is it? There we go, Flip Trap. So the reason we do this is because most of the heavy enemies are particularly slow. The only thing you really have to worry about is going to be Fire Ogres, but there's a lot of Earth Elementals here. They can't be slowed, so you want something that's going to trigger relatively easily when they're over them, and that will work. But for the most part, I think that's good otherwise, so we can just go, whoa, no, not true. We want to use the light barricade or the regular barricade instead of the Great Wall, because it opens up different pathing options here, and you'll see why when I get in here. There's just a lot of seams on the ground.
Stand firm. Protect the rifts at all costs.
All right, so we're gonna grab Silver Streak because the other buffs are not really that great for this map, just because it's one of those Mount Olympus situations. You can stand next to the rift for quite a lot of it, and that makes all the difference in the world. With Cygnus anyway. Double damage and having your HP and mana regen is pretty freaking powerful. We're gonna do that. This.
Good to be trapping again.
No, we're not gonna do that yet. Okay.
Good to be trapping again.
Okay. As we gain more coin, we're going to create like a small funnel for the rift, and then we'll use that to get all of our damage and everything else dealt.
They've broken through a gate.
Gonna do that. Got the rift out in time. Move up and drop the lightning ring, just to speed things up a bit. Maybe get an extra combo point or two here or there. Okay, so that's done. These guys now have to path around this. Alright, and then we're basically going to do the same thing we did before. We have to make sure that we kill that Terracotta Giant, else we'll be too slow to back out of here, and you might get bum rushed, which is really, really bad. We're going to grab Mini Master. We won't be summoning the Rift a lot, but it's going to be a bit more useful than the other passives there. And we're going to sell these. Now you can just force these guys to path all the way around here. It's not a bad idea. It'll prevent them from trying to touch your barricades in any horrible way. We're going to be flinging whatever we can over that way anyway, and let's see where we get. So enemies can't actually walk through this pot. They can't go through here at all. They should just path down that way. And mainly what that's going to do is it's going to prevent Fire Ogres from destroying every... Oh, I don't even need to do that. Wasting time. We get an unstable rift here, and it can be in one of the 3 locations on the map, either behind you on the left or right, or... Whoa. If not behind you, back here.
Well done.
Man, not having that rift damage is super noticeable. Okay. 3 barricades will block this side off, and that will prevent any enemies that might try to automatically leak over there. It's definitely a good idea to do that ASAP. Got to make sure your lightning bolts actually land on something. I think I one-shot the water dragon. That was pretty nice. I'm way over leveled, so I'm doing a lot more damage than you would normally expect somebody to do in this situation. So pay a bit of attention to the fact that that's a thing. So here, we want to do something similar to what we did with the other sort of indented gate, where we just stand back here, drop the mini rift, going to drop the lightning ring so that we can bait out the Pride Hunter and Pride Assassin, and then we're going to take Ordinary Old Timer, which is just going to make bosses and heavy enemies easier. Which essentially means we eliminate the Flame Ogres a bit quicker, which is really nice.
Good to be trapping again. Good to be trapping again. Good spot for this.
Okay.
A zap for you, and you, and you.
That guy did not enjoy that. So our main thing now is trying to get ourselves as leveled as we possibly can during this. Alright, and then just replace the barricades as necessary. They will get destroyed over time. It's just the nature of them, but that's okay. Then you can create another funnel to just force the enemies to go through a specific place.
Oh, this is addicting.
And you can see how the flip traps are buying you time with the earth elementals, just due to the fact that most of those guys just got kind of tossed over there. I can't even see exactly where the flame ogres are due to all of the enemies flipping. Alright, one more of this guy, then we're going to try to take this out before it opens.
The unstable rift was not
I missed the last shot. Okay.
Look at it. It is so
They're going to turn around and die.
for you, and you, and you.
Okay. Not too bad. Whoa, I backed up the wrong direction. Very, very wrong direction. I'm like, wait, why is my mini rift here? Alright, so now that we have a straight path for the enemies to go, and essentially everything that we have here is working for us, we're doing pretty good. We're not worried about that because, again, ton of cash. I actually have not trapped this up as hard as I could, and that's my fault completely. Because that means more opportunities for them to destroy the barricades. So, 2 BGH ballistas. Here works, and everything else is a regular ballista.
Good spot for this. Good spot for this. Storm calling is a lost art.
So this makes it so that these guys are basically going to be shot sometimes in midair, and hopefully it saves you a bit of trouble just dealing with all of the enemies that are going to be piling into this tiny corridor here. Gonna get off his lawn. That turns your chain lightning into a super long range attack that hits 7 enemies. Wasn't close enough to the rift to get that healing effect boosted, but took care of it. And if you want to, you can sort of preemptively summon your mini rift back here, and that will get you some extra damage versus everything that comes through it. Oh gosh.
destroyed our barricades.
That's okay. It just means they group up at a slightly worse place.
They've destroyed our barricades.
We will have to spend a small bit of cash to build that back up. We just want to make sure that nobody finally gets through there. Looks like we're safe.
Good to be trapping again. Good spot for this. More explosions is
All right.
always good, yes?
And now we're at the final couple of waves here, and we're still going really strong. We can toss up some more
Perfect.
ballista here.
I do love traps. Perfect. Good spot.
And that
An unstable rift is open.
will essentially do it for us.
Under attack. Fiddle faddle on you. They've destroyed our barricades.
Alright, so as long as we can keep that
Who says I'm
pretty strong, we can knock that down in a couple of hits. They don't have infinite fire ogres, so we're okay just blasting them and then dropping the rifts back down. Or not the rifts, the barricades.
That goes there.
Combat level goes a long way to making sure that you can take out unstable rifts quicker, so pay attention to that. Oh, Commander Tower. So we're going to be counting on the BGH ballistas to do most of the damage here, and maybe a couple of exploding minions. We don't want to aim directly at him because his tower will block your shots. However, everything else will work super well, because as soon as he walks past those ballistas, he's getting lit up in the back. And that should be it. Nope, there's one more.
Many minions. We won.
All right, old man dance. And that is a particularly fast strat as well. Enemies have to run to a singular position, and because the right gate is a little bit slower, they all kind of meet up at the same time, and it just works really nice. Alright, so we obviously did way more damage than our traps there, which is a-okay. I mean, Cygnus is one of the powerhouses in the game, so that's not something that's far-fetched or not seen very often. But our next map is not going to be something that we can do that on, so we're going to want to strategize it differently. There's always the kitchen, but there's of course other things that you can do when you have the ability to fire chain lightning down long hallways. So I'll see what I decide to do, but if you guys have any recommendations or questions or just anything, feel free to drop a comment beneath the video. I appreciate you guys for tuning into these. If you learned something, that's great. If you just drop by to see me, that's great as well. But I'll do more stuff, and I still want to finish and get some other games up on the channel, which I haven't done yet, and that's just due to some personal stuff that I'm dealing with, but I think that I'm getting that on track, so we should be able to see more stuff and more regular content soon. Either way, thanks again as always. I sincerely appreciate it, and until next time, take care of yourselves and have a good one, folks.